Okay, can I just cold open?
Yeah, cold open.
Cold open. Like, I'm on the spectrum of Becky, Tin Man. The Tin Man has no heart. Is that it? Right? Tin Man, no heart. Doesn't think her toys. She's like, everybody shut the fuck up and go to sleep. Like, she doesn't think her toys are sad at night when no one's playing with them.
All plastic, begging me to throw it at.
Right. So there's like Tin Man, Becky on one side, and then there's Shy, who like saves for like their like college fund for all his toys. Like, I don't know the emotional investment you have for all your toys so that they can live forever with you forever. And then I must be somewhere middle to Shy, like in that range, not full Shy, but I do have trouble like throwing some of my toys out. I mean, I don't have toys. Do you know what I mean? Like my stuff out, my kids' toys out, but there's nothing like a week of grief. Like, you'd think it would make me more sentimental. I was like everything. I was like, I hate everything. Everything takes up space. I was just like, this means nothing. Everything is meaningless. And I just was like tearing through my kids' playroom, and it needed a good clean out. You know what? It needed a little bit of like depression to just be like, don't care. This is garbage. And, and just do like, and it felt really good to throw out. I mean, not for like the landfills and the environment, but I also was like, I don't care about the environment anymore or anything. I'm sad. I was like, fuck you, environment. Fuck you, everything. And I just, 2 huge garbage bags, like even school projects that we've been keeping. Ari's like, but I think I have to go at the end of the year and bring that in. I was like, tell your teacher it's mommy's fault. It's going in the garbage.
I first of all, that sounds extremely traumatizing.
I'm sending you a picture.
Well, that's Lily's point. Is when she's sort of in
grief
mode, just pile it on.
Oh.
Take care of it all at once.
Clean out a playroom. You might as well make use of the grief.
One of the things we were talking about with respect to death and Shiva and all of that was what came up with my elder daughter and our family yesterday was how much stuff I have and how I, of course,
everybody's getting nervous.
How it'd be turned into a museum when I go.
Oh my God.
And then my older daughter just goes, then can we have a gift shop and start selling it?
Ooh, that's so much. I'm so proud of her.
Like turning the basement into a museum to me, and she just whispers, or a gift shop.
I'm just so proud of her entrepreneurship. Like,
she's on fire right now.
She's on fire.
Like the healing thing of laughter is so true when you're mourning. And last night she gave us a gift is all I can say.
So we're trying to distract. We're keeping busy. We're as the waves of sadness and grief come, you roll with them, and when you're kind of feeling a little bit better, we distract ourselves with something fun. So we decided to play Mom and Shy's daughter's favorite game, Rummy Cube. They are obsessed with Rummy Cube.
They are serious about it.
They're serious Rummy Cubers.
And shout out to Sarah and David in Israel who taught them how to play.
I have Rummy Cube here waiting.
So we set up the old Rummy Cube, and anyone who knows our mom knows that she has like a healthy amount of ADD. It is,
she's also a little bit of a cheater, isn't she? I mean, those are the rumors. She'll be so mad. Dad always calls her a cheater. She claims she doesn't.
Bit of a cheater. As much as she wants to play, she does have a very hard time physically sitting still for the length of the game. So every time she's waiting for her turn to come back around, she intensely fidgets in her space, in her seat. And she gets into this loop where she's humming old-timey songs. And she can't
Wait, like
stop.
Yankee Doodle?
Like, I don't know.
Oh, that's a good old... Like, if I would not have... I'm impressed with you, Shy. I would not have...
I don't know, stuff like that.
I would not have, if you said old-timey song, it would have taken me a minute to come up with something.
At one point, and it's clearly driving me crazy. I'm like rubbing my temples. I don't want to be mean to her. I don't want to give her a hard time because, she's also having so much fun. And at one point, Shai's daughter.
It's so hard for you not to be mean. I know. It must have been
it's so hard.
Such an effort.
She turns to mom and she just goes like this. She taps her on the shoulder and goes, "Play classic rock." like it's a.
I have to cough. I have to laugh and cough so hard. I have to mute myself. Hold on.
So, as if mom is a radio station and she's trying to tune the radio to something slightly more pleasant.
But also very Gen Z because she thinks it's an Alexa. So she has to give it instructions.
It's Alexa.
All right.
Anyways, the whole Rummy Cube game was
that's
in the spirit of that joke. And we had a lot of fun. Although I did tear a little bit more of my hair out listening to mom fidget and drum on the table and huff to herself every time it wasn't her turn.
All right, well, let's officially start the show. Here we are, and welcome to a bittersweet episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast. This week's episode will involve pop culture and making fun of our family, but the theme is going to be our Tio Harry. Our mother's older brother passed away last week, and we've been deep in the world of shiva and grief, but also I have to say, like, we're very lucky. We have the most amazing family. Like, the number of people that showed up in Florida and then in Philadelphia, and if you're going to go through something terrible, this is a great group to go through things with. And thank you to everybody who's messaged us. I know we put something out. And so we're going to talk about him. We're going to thread in some movie stories. We're going to talk about what we've been watching. So it will be a typical episode. It'll have some family stuff in it. Cause I personally have been looking forward to this because this is part of how I'm going to process this.
Well, I feel like
also I'm so
there's like a particular thing that I think grief does to what you watch, especially when you're traveling to and from on
that's a great point.
half a dozen flights.
But also
I need to kind of process with you what I've been watching in order to cope with the grief and the stress and the anxiety of the last couple of weeks.
Sorry, I'm still not over Yankee Doodle and Nama's comment. I'm sorry, your older daughter's comment. So 1 second. But also, as I don't know if it's a Jewish thing, I don't know if it's a Corman thing or a Zacharias Hovey. Like, I don't know if it's our combo of our incredible families or it's our culture, but like some hilarious things have happened also that like it would be a detriment to the memory of our uncle, the detriment to comedy and to anybody who's grieving to not share just like some of the funny things that have happened.
He also, Beck was remembering, and you were remembering, like when he laughed so hard
so he cried. He was like
and cried.
Like, he, and like just stream of tears.
It
like,
was.
He laughed like to 11, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so I'll start with. I'm going to actually like recap a little bit what I said in my eulogy, because I think it's going to tee off some of the great family things. And so I mentioned that, he's Tio Harry. I'm a Tio now to your kids and to my nephew and niece on Allie's side. And he taught me great lessons about how to be a Tio. And number one, and I'm going to just go through those 3 lessons. And so like one of them is like, be fun. And I say ... ellipsis, even almost especially when it drives your own siblings crazy. And mom told me the story that when I was born, he showed up at their tiny apartment with a giant Mickey Mouse.
Oh my God, that's such a shy Tio move.
In your DNA.
Yeah.
It's in your DNA to behave this way.
And his father did stuff like that too.
The week before I moved across the country, Shai sent me 2 larger than life-size stuffed animals. Like they're each 6 feet long and 3 feet wide.
Yep. And they're Becky's kid's favorite thing. And
I literally couldn't bring my dining room table because I had to pack these goddamn stuffies in the moving truck.
Shapy.
You still
have them, right?
And then like Lily, I know Becky, read the story that you told, but he also did things, and these things that totally inspire me. Like this, like I feel it like flowing in me, the energy of
I mean, you
when
did buy a convertible.
I did buy a convertible. Yeah,
I just want to say, just for the record, the stuff I do is like I buy your kids expensive jeans. Okay.
yeah, they
You know,
love
No,
it.
yeah, but Tia,
No, but you're
Tia
channeling mom.
category is not the same as
different than the
Tio.
Tia.
This is a Tio category. This is
Yeah,
different.
like if you're talking about Tia Jan and Tia Linda, and then mom's role as Tia's equally
It's like a
incredible.
lot of
different
like
thing.
really nice manicures and like it's
Yeah.
different. It's different. I mean, we did some epic Tia stuff with Shai's daughter when she was here, but it's different.
Yeah. So, for example, one of my all-time greatest memories was when we were visiting Florida, and just because he thought it was cool, he rented a convertible for a day and
A Mustang.
drove a Mustang, yeah, and drove Lily and I just through the Florida Keys for hours.
But also because he was like, you need to try key lime pie.
And then you guys ate
this is
fried conch,
Yeah.
and
fried
I
conch
heard about
sandwiches.
it.
and I had no idea what it was. I had no idea what a conch was, and then we had I'll never forget the individual portion key lime pies, and we went to Key Largo, and it was so fun. But a side thing of that is that our grandmother Baba Zalunia was still alive, and she was at home. She didn't come on the trip; she stayed at her apartment, and I had never been in a convertible before. And I had at the time a lot more hair than I have now, but it was like big and curly, and it was like a full Bridget Jones when she goes on holiday. When we got back, my hair was matted because I was just like blowing in the wind, and Bubba sat there with a comb for like 3 hours trying to comb my hair out. And that was like the shadow side of going in a convertible without a hair tie. So
and
I remember that day like it was yesterday.
So the other thing about Tio Harry is that he was like the king of cool. I mean, right? Was he like he showed up to, I think it was Lily's bat mitzvah with a full seersucker suit in Montreal. And like I don't think anyone in Montreal had ever seen a seersucker suit. And he was just the coolest dude.
He was
there's
so
one
cool
photo
that
of him,
go
there's
ahead.
one iconic photo of him that is to me the epitome of cool. And when that photo came up on the slideshow, Vlad let out an audible "what?"
Yeah.
And it's the one of him as a young man sitting on his motorcycle, shirtless, holding a puppy.
A puppy.
That's that's my favorite picture.
This dude.
Okay, two things. One, okay, wait, so cool. Oh my God, I just lost it. But yesterday I'm going through again the playroom. I'm like cleaning out all my kid shit, and look what I find is but a sticker of a sheepdog.
Oh.
It's just such a weird coincidence that I just found like a sheepdog sticker. He loved a sheepdog. He was so cool that like a cousin of ours that's not actually related to that side of the family, like so many people were sending messages, right, and sending stories. And so, like a cousin of ours not related to this side of the family writes, yeah, I tried my first Johnny Walker Blue Label with him at like one of the weddings or bar mitzvahs or something. He gave me like my first, whiskey or whatever. And I'm like, that's the extent. And then we're in a chat, like, and when I didn't realize this, when I say this, I feel so fortunate. We're in a chat with 26 of our cousins. Like, that's very special. And we have this chat, and then the stories just flood in of, like, everybody. He was everybody's Tio.
And then and then I would just say that the last thing is that we all got great time with him. I mean, we didn't waste time, which I feel like we all in different ways. He visited Lily in the summer. I talked to him on the phone. Becky saw him the week before he passed away. I talked to him the morning he passed away. So, that's the serious message is like, don't waste time with the people you love. Make sure you get that time so that you have all these great memories. Now, Lily, you were just talking about, what was the thing you were just talking about? Right before I mentioned that?
Yeah, the stories, cousins.
Cousins.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Okay.
There's a lot of good stuff in the notes.
We were deep in this. So now the other amazing thing is, so Becky and I were down in Florida. We're preparing for this shiva and the funeral and like all this different stuff with mom and don't worry, people. funny things still happened. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the root beer?
That's a good place to start.
So, like, okay. So, it's a very intense week and schedule, and we were going to go from.
Well, and Becky and I had been there all week.
We had been there all week. I had been there the week before. I had come back a couple days early before the day before the funeral.
So to be clear, Becky and I had been there.
We've clocked about 4 to 5 days each already prior to the funeral day. Following the funeral, there was going to be a shiva. But then the following day, there's also going to be another shiva in Philadelphia. Shai and I had to get from Florida back home, pack up our kids, drive to Philly, all in like a 18-hour period.
And not Florida near the airport. Like Florida, a good hour and 10 minutes from there.
So we are
from like West Palm Beach.
Balancing the schedule and really felt that the best thing for us to do was not wait to take the very, very last flight out, but the second to last flight out that night, which meant that we'd have to go from the funeral, quick drop in, from the funeral to the airport, basically. And we get a text from mom going, No,
first she says, oh, go ahead.
We got a text from her saying, I just want you to know that I bought root beer for the shiva.
No. It started with, she says, text me and says, Shai, what kind of root beer do you like? And I'm like, why? She says, because I'm getting for the shiva.
If you come to the shiva, you can have a root beer.
It also starts, I don't know what in the timeline is before or after, but she's on the phone with our cousin, Shelly. Or no, she's booking Shelly's flight. She's talking to her younger brother, Tio Mario. Shai's secretly filming them just because of their shenanigans. And we all overhear her, because you're filming, say to Tio Mario, okay, I'm booking the flight. Okay, Shelly's going to come Wednesday to Thursday. Shai and Becky are leaving Wednesday.
No, Shai and Becky, they're coming and then just leaving right away.
They're just leaving on Wednesday right away. Shelly and Mindy are staying till Thursday.
They're not coming to the shiva.
They're not.
Root beer. And I go, well, no, we are, but it's so that we can get to the shiva in Philadelphia. So all to say,
classic.
You never spend enough time at a shiva. But her trying to bribe Shai, Shai with root beer, and then I write back to mom, because
they don't have good sourdough in Florida, so she has nothing to bribe you with.
So if you're getting Shai root beer for the funeral, what are you going to get me to stay? And she's like, nothing.
They don't have like fancy gourmand whatever.
Now to be clear, Dad led the most beautiful ceremony.
Tradesies pastries and desserts were pretty good.
Dad led the most beautiful service. The poor guy, he went to 1 year of rabbinical school, and everybody who doesn't know a local rabbi in our family hires him for everything.
I have to say,
they don't pay him.
It was such a beautiful ceremony.
The truth is, you're getting a lot of mileage out of that 1 year in rabbinical school.
Way of honoring our uncle.
Yeah, and highest mitzvah, and one of the other highest mitzvahs of a Jewish funeral is not making it too long. And Dad, nothing was left unsaid, and it was very efficient.
Precise.
So Becky and I actually had time to get back to the shiva, and I got a root beer.
I got a turkey sandwich.
I elected to have root beer over eating, which was kind of a bummer, but I did have a root beer. And then I offloaded our rental car to Dad, and then he gave it to cousin Zoe, and we just took an Uber to the airport, and we made our flight.
Just about made that flight, and we made that flight. And so can I transition into the flights and watching it? So listen, I think what's really interesting is I'm now making a connection between your feelings of, once I'm already in this cycle of grief, let's just pile on and make it just do all the hard things.
Yeah.
So in doing these flights, because remember I had gone out the week before to visit Tio Harry. He was very sick. I had gotten home just the night before he passed, and then went back again a couple days later to help with be there for the funeral. And so sort of once you're in this cycle of, I really had the feeling of nothing I watch will be pleasurable. I'm not in a space where I can go and have fun. So what would feel like it's going to suck once I'm sucking the joy out, what will continue to suck the joy out? And it'd be a little bit of a punishment. season 4 of The Witcher.
Oh, that's
So,
brilliant.
First 6 episodes of season 4 of The Witcher.
How was
That's
it?
brilliant.
So
That's
Do you
brilliant
notice the
because
difference of The Witcher?
you're
So
already
I
so
have to
sad.
tell you,
You're grieving Cavill
grieving
and
so
Tio
many times.
Harry.
I have to tell you, here's what I think. Okay, so there's lots of things I think. First of all, there is just no planet in the universe in which anybody can replace Cavill. So it's not that Liam Hemsworth isn't doing a fantastic job. Had he been the Witcher from the beginning, no one would have noticed. It would have been like, oh, fine, he's the Witcher. That
but
works.
the show would not have gotten 5 seasons.
But that's what I'm saying is, but there's no, you cannot step into just simply the enormity of Cavill's thighs in those leather pants. You cannot fill.
It's his voice. He's a
of
great actor.
They definitely do some sort of weird voice modulation on Hemsworth to make him sound like Cavill and really deep. Listen, Liam Hemsworth is doing a great job in it. I'm no disparaging remarks to him. He's doing a great job. It's just not possible to fill in for Cavill. So it's very hard.
Netflix admitted it. They admitted it that they made a big mistake.
Had let's say there's just been Hemsworth's part from the beginning, you wouldn't notice because he is doing a good job. He just can't balance. That's 1, 2. The first 3 episodes of the season are impossible to understand.
So
to be fair, it's never been easy to understand.
No, but this is like
you're just like on the.
This is just wild insanity. There is no way to understand what's going on, which I have to tell you is the perfect state of mind to sit in here and almost feel like I had dementia or Alzheimer's and be like, I don't know what's going on. It's better to watch something where I can't track it. So that's okay. Then there's a full episode of this season that is just Teal. Like they go and have a campfire, all the people in the Witcher's little crew, and everybody tells their emotional backstory. It's literally everything.
It's the campfire. It's the 5-minute campfire scene from Floaters,
but a full hour, and it's the weirdest thing. There's a musical number.
So you're saying like on top of it, it's not even a good season.
It's a strange season, but then I think it must be episode 6 when they do 5 or 6, whatever it is. I'm much further along now. There's the massive, massive, epic battle of all the witches and wizards, and that's incredible. Like,
do you think they'll bring him back?
That scene is amazing. And I would say what's really interesting is that because there's no Cavill this season, and now the Witcher just sort of feels like another character. He doesn't feel that special. Yennefer and Ciri really anchor the show and are the most amazing. Like, you're really now Yennefer is the one I really feel like that anchors it. You're following her. You're the most invested in her and her story. So that's kind of cool. Absolutely impossible to understand. A weird hiking episode and that like campfire scene episode and then a fabulous battle. So best watched when in the pit of despair and grief.
And you know what also is funny to do in the pit of despair and grief, you know what?
Do we?
Is Mom ordering flights for her niece, Shelley, because we are sitting in the room with her as she is asking for Shelley's birthday. I believe it's Becky who's giving her the credit.
Me. Maybe I'm not in the room, but on text.
Yeah.
I'm texting the birthday.
And I'm in the background saying, like, Mom does not know this birthday. And
but also, Shelley herself texted her, like, a copy of her ID. Because also her name, she got married, so her name is different. So Mom's like capable of just putting her like maiden name.
Which made Mom fixing her mistake, calling the airline, trying to fix it, very confusing. Because she kept spelling Shelley's extremely complicated
maiden
name, which is not her legal name. And the woman on the phone is like,
you're making up a person.
And the wrong name, we're going to have a hard time here.
Right.
And then... But the other good thing is, the other thing, I don't know about you guys, how you feel about doing laundry on a trip, but Mom loves doing her laundry on a trip. I think it's like that generation. Like,
They also...
2 socks and 3 underwear.
Well,
they also love doing
she did laundry at Tia Linda's house after being there for one day, and then for a whole day kept saying, I lost my bag of underwear. I can't find it anywhere. She put it down somewhere, and she couldn't find it.
But also, she packs so much for any given trip. She definitely has enough underwear. They love doing laundry.
Love doing laundry.
we
But on the flip side, I'm concerned at how little laundry Shy did. I just want to put that.
oh yeah, because I came from another event.
He came from an event, then stayed.
No,
like,
it wasn't. It was a
Florida
bat
and had
mitzvah
one
too.
tiny
So like,
turnout. And I just like at a certain point I was like, but don't you need to do? Are you just going inside outside?
can I tell you the funny things that happened on my end? I know I wasn't with
Yeah.
you guys, but the grief permeates, like the grief hilarity permeates through international waters. Like it makes it all the way. So when Becky told me the terribly sad news, I was on my own with my kids because my husband's away in Barcelona for the weekend working. And this was on a Saturday and he wasn't coming home till Monday. And so, granted he was exhausted from work, but then he also gets this terribly sad news. He loved Tio Harry, very, very much. And so I'm distraught, but I kind of have to keep it together for the kids. And Becky calls him and she's like, you got to change your flight. Like you can't stay till Monday. You got to go home. And the work part was over, by Sunday morning. So he was just going to, take advantage of the time there. And so he's like, okay, got it. So he calls me from the airport on Sunday. So he's supposed to come home Sunday evening. He calls me from the airport and he's like, I don't see my flight. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Did they cancel it? And he's like, no, it's like it doesn't exist. I'm looking for it. I'm here at the time and I don't see it anywhere. And I have it on my phone. And like, what does that mean? Like, how does that happen? And I was like, I don't know. I guess go to the check-in and ask. And he did. And they were like, oh no, most definitely that flight exists. It's just from the wrong city. Like you booked Tenerife to Barcelona. You're already in Barcelona. So that flight doesn't land for another 3 hours. And you're already here. He's like, God damn it. So he booked the wrong direction to come home. He's, I think, like distraught, tired, whatever. Luckily, he got the last seat on the last flight, like home, so he could come. But it was just like one of those things that was just like, it had to crack me up because I was like, that's how sad you are. It was like mom getting the birthday wrong. You're just not in your right mind. Then I tell my kids, who also very loved Tio Harry very, very much. And I tell my kids, and my God, they just like are hysterical, like inconsolable as one would expect, right? And there's so much snot and there's so many tears. And my 5-year-old just looks at me and he goes, but did he vomit? And I was like, what? I was like, no, that's... And then he just looks at us and he goes, was it polio? And I was like,
how was he even hurt?
I was like, polio? And Ari, who's like hysterical crying, just looks at me and he goes, polio?
What's really funny,
I'll just like crack up.
So in our notes, I've been looking at this note of the story you were going to tell, and my eyes are getting a little old, and I thought it said Asher Pollo.
Oh, like chicken?
Yeah, I was like, when's only going to bring up the Pollo?
No, but then what was his other question? Oh no.
Well,
oh no,
Becky,
like
no, I will say, when you're delivering death news, be specific. Is my advice.
God, yes. No, Becky warned me. Becky said, but wait, this goes back to what Becky was about to say. Becky was like, be very specific because we have a lot of TOs. And if you have to like even say their locations because for our these are great uncles for our littles.
A few pieces of information. The first is we have 2 TOs right on this side of the family. We have two people we call Tio. There's Tio Harry, who just passed, and then there's Tio Mario. Now, because Tio Mario lives in Philadelphia, my kids see him many times a year. They have passed over at his house. We visit. They spend a lot of time with Tio Mario, and they have spent time with Tio Harry, but those visits have been fewer and far between. Now, I had, like I said, just been in Florida visiting Tio Harry for 2 days. But, I got home the night before he passed away. And so it's the next afternoon. And get the news that he's passed, and I'm very upset and I'm crying, and they come over to me and they give me a big hug and they say, Mommy, what happened? Why are you crying? And I say, girls, my Tio passed away. And they're so sad and they're hugging me, and they make me feel better, and we go on with the day. And then the next day I've made my plans that I'm gonna, when I'm gonna leave, and I tell them, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna help, Bob and Tio Shai with all the funeral arrangements for my Tio. We're so sad. And then now it's the night before I'm leaving, and I'm kissing my girls goodnight, and they say, have a good trip to Philadelphia tomorrow. And I say, oh no, I'm going to Florida, sweethearts. And they go, but Tio Mario lived in Philadelphia. And I go, but Tio Mario's still alive. And they go, oh.
For like 2 days, Becky's kids thought the wrong person
had died. And they were like, well, we're very sorry about your Tio Harry, but thank God Tio Mario's still alive. Jeez. We'll get to see him soon, right? And I was like, yeah, you'll see him in Philadelphia. So that
but it's also like the beautiful innocence and sweetness of like being that little and like not understanding grief and death, and like the matter of fact of it all,
or memory against me that they thought the wrong tea. Like
no, they
forgot.
Right,
let's get back to the movie.
Yeah, so I feel like I watched an appropriate movie last night for the state of mind. We watched Frankenstein.
The new one, the Guillermo del Toro one.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Okay, to be fair, it's 2.5 hours, and I do have like 45 minutes left. But
well, do you like it more than Nosferatu? Because we watched Nosferatu together, and I thought that was really cool.
It's more it's more enjoyable. It's more of an enjoyable experience for sure. Here's the thing. Like hot Frankenstein? Yes. Like why wouldn't I sign up? It's like Jacob Elordi. Like he's like a really good-looking dude, and even though
don't they make him look icky?
He's not. I mean, so far not that icky.
What they did in Nosferatu is
very icky. No. The ick factor in this is it's much more romanticized. But here's the thing: is that it's Oscar Isaac is so good. Like
he's so good.
Mad science. Like he's such a great mad scientist. The set pieces, like I don't know what deal was struck that this goes to Netflix. Like cinematically, you'd think that this is,
Wait, this wasn't on the big screen?
I think it's a Netflix movie. You could check. I don't think it was on the big screen, maybe for like a minute.
Here for check the boxes.
And then straight to Netflix after that.
I would love to go to. That's like one of the few movies I would probably make an effort to go see in theater
because of the set pieces and the art design. Like, I'm just watching this movie and it's like a painting. It's just so beautiful. I just keep turning to Jose and I'm like, do you know how much they built to make this movie? Like, there's so much building involved. And he's like, oh, you don't think they just found that like creepy manor or like this mansion? And I was like, no, I've read the book, like the original book. And so I think there's so many iterations of the story, but like I kept being like, wow, like watching it come to life. It's just so artistically beautiful. But then, it's Oscar Isaac and he's great, and Christopher Waltz and he's great. So, and it's done, I think, in 3 pieces. You've got like this prelude, you've got Victor's story, and then the creature story. And so, I'm at the creature story, so I think that's like where things are gonna get real violent. But I'm into it.
Igor? Is there an Igor?
No, there is not. But I don't think in the original there's an Igor. I think that's like a later iteration. He has a younger brother who helps him procure a lot of the stuff, and Christopher Waltz pays for it. So I mean, there's liberties taken from the original text. It's not exactly at all like the original text. It's just, it's not the Frankenstein with the 2 bolts in his neck either, right? Yeah. It's just, yeah. And so far, Elordi's great. Like, he doesn't say much because he's Frankenstein, but, you feel for this sort of, creature who's been created, all the messages and all the things are still really, really interesting. And this story's so old. I'm enjoying it so far, but I'm like, oh, I could see something really dark and gross right now. So it's, yeah.
Well, I've had a really weird series of things that I watched, but all with interesting connections. Well, I'll just talk about first what I watched with Mom, and we'll come back around to the other things that I watched after Becky.
I have other things too, you know.
Go, keep going. Sorry.
Should I keep going? Okay, fine. I'll go quick. I saw Smashing Machine with it was The Rock. It was good. It was a bit slow, like I'll say, you know, it's slow, but he did a fantastic job. And if you're into this, you know, the start of the UFC and this particular story, I would say the last third is the best part. Like that last third is really great. There's a bit of like a marriage story part with him and Emily Blunt that's just like really depressing. He did a great job though. And it's like an interesting story. I think I'm excited to see the Christie movie about the first, you know, female boxer, Sydney Sweeney, major female boxer. And so that I think I've heard amazing things about that. I think biopics are tough because you gotta pick and choose what you tell of that story. But The Rock did a great job. So that was cool to see. And then, am I going to say that pluribus? My brain can't remember the title. Pluribus. Is that what? Which is that's not nice to do to people, to make that the name of a show. So weird. I'm on episode I'm caught up. So I guess you guys haven't seen it. So weird. But I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan. It's not nearly as dark as Breaking Bad. It's a really interesting concept though. It reminds me more of Severance, of just sort of like a sci-fi-ish weird concept, and the actors are not super famous. I mean, Severance has more famous actors. Like these are not crazy famous actors, and they're excellent. And so far, it's a really out there story. And I'm gonna keep watching it. And then there's this show I just have to, and Tio Harry spoke Spanish. I feel like I need to share. I don't know who's listening to this that would be into Spanish Netflix, but there's this show called, in English, it's called Old Dog New Tricks. In Spanish, it's called Animal. I don't know why they couldn't just call it Animal. And it's great. It's just like a half-hour comedy, like workplace comedy, but it's this like in the north of Spain, in Galicia, where there's all these farms. This vet that does like cow, horse, like large animals for farms, needs money, and so his niece convinces him to take a job at like, I guess, like a PetSmart, where they have a vet, like an in-house vet, and he's just like a curmudgeon-y old vet who's trying to like deal with like someone who brings in a guinea pig who has a phantom pregnancy. like it's just really funny. Yeah. And so it's like, that's been like my little half hour like of joy, but it's in Spanish, and I encourage people to watch it. Even if you don't speak Spanish, it's really cute.
I watched with Mom. So like there's, you know, the healing power of laughter and mom movies and TV. So first of all, I watched a couple episodes of the Ted Danson Solves Mystery as an Old Man in an Old Age. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the show. But she'd already seen
The Man Inside.
And so we just watched two episodes of that. It was very healing. And then last night we watched Freakier Friday with Mom and my elder daughter, and that was just peak joy.
Is it good though? Is a movie? I mean, I know it's
it's really good. I've now seen it twice.
Loved it.
Okay. I have to watch it.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. It's very funny. Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, but they're all good in it. It's a little long, but I think Becky has a good analysis to why it's long.
The reason that it's a little bit long is because there are a lot of additional Jamie Lee Curtis scenes just being hilarious and doing shtick and gags. And so, and I agree with this. Once you're getting Jamie Lee Curtis to headline your comedy, just let her run wild a bit. Add a few extra bits in that have nothing to do with the story.
You've gotten her to reprise a role, right?
She's so good in it. She's so funny.
She's
commits
committed
to the bit. 100.
And we're gonna need to do an episode on all these like, you know, revivals that are coming out. Gremlins 3, they're doing like. Yeah, like there's a I don't have all the list off my head. There's a Gremlins 3 is coming out.
That's really happening.
I don't know if there's like a Goonies 2. I mean, they might as well, like at this point, there's a lot of stuff coming back.
Goonies.
I really hope
It might not be Goonies 2. I might be starting a rumor, but you know what I mean? Like Gremlins, there's like you're going to see, there's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff that's coming out.
All right, Beck, what have you watched?
Back.
Before I end.
I told you. The Witcher.
Oh, The Witcher. That was your thing. That's the only. Okay.
Friday.
All right. So I have a couple more things. So
I'm gonna go see a lot of stuff over Thanksgiving. I will say that. I have a weekend of watching and new releases planned. So I will come back after Thanksgiving with.
And Stranger Things is starting, so we're gonna have.
So before I wrap, I'm gonna wrap on my Tio Harry tribute, but Steve Kostanski, who's one of our favorite directors, he did PG Psycho Gorman, Manborg, Frankie Frico. He has a remake of a movie that I had never seen as a kid called Deathstalker, which is like a kind of Conan the Barbarian type thing, but very tongue in cheek. But you know me, I'm a completist. I decided that I would watch the source material first. The first two Deathstalker movies, there's 4. I only got through 2. And the first 2 are truly 2 of the worst things I've ever seen. Like the second one's a little bit better because it's funny, but these are terrible, like almost unwatchable.
If you're saying that.
Yeah. Like I was just like the way, like the acting, the way the women are treated, the ADR of the voice, like everything about it'd be fun to try to see you guys get through a few minutes of these, but I like trucked through them both. And then I watched his version, and his version is, first of all, like it's R-rated because there's like hilarious kills in the movie, but it is not in any way as like hard R and like sexually assaulty as these other movies were, which I really agreed. Like it was desexualized, which I enjoyed. It was more in the vein of like Ninja Turtles when we were kids, but with like a lot more blood. And it had Patton Oswalt as the voice of like the Orko character. Like there's like a little
cool.
And I felt like that's a huge upgrade for Steve Kostanski that he's got Patton Oswalt voicing a movie.
That's great.
But I did miss his other. I missed Adam Brooks and Connor Sminiak. I don't know if they were in it as like creatures, but like those guys.
The gang.
With those guys not in the movie, I missed a little bit of the heart of his other movies. Okay, so I don't know if you remember this, but Tio Harry in 1988 bought me my first swimsuit issue, like the Sports Illustrated swimsuit.
I remember everything you're about to say.
With Elle McPherson on the
cover. Not a great memory. Like, I feel like you and Becky remember stuff from our childhood way better, but there are clear things I remember, and this is one of them.
So he got me that, and then the following year in 1989, he got me the 25th anniversary swimsuit issue video. It was like a 1-hour documentary, behind the scenes documentary promo. It was one of those things that, like, in my mind, you could only get if you subscribed to Sports Illustrated. Like, it was on the commercials. They're like, subscribe now and get the video. Somehow, Tio Harry got the video. I'm sure he bought it at a store, but he got it. And he gave that to me as a gift. And how many times did we watch that documentary?
Dozens.
Like, beyond, is this, like, there's just so many things. On one hand, good for us as young children watching a documentary. And maybe inspired Becky.
Not racy.
No, but I'm just saying.
I'll get to
also, is this an appropriate documentary for 10, 7, 5-year-olds?
So I have since, okay.
It's a lot of girls in bikini. I remember it, but like.
Yeah, but it's very tasteful, which is the point of where I'm getting.
I gotta tell you, I have very good self-esteem.
And in that particular video, though, the era that's in, you have Stephanie Seymour, Christy Brinkley, Cheryl Tiegs, Carol Alt, right? Like that was like
Kathy Ireland.
Kathy Ireland is the sort of grand finale because she was on the cover that year. So our dear, amazing pal Rob Lyons at Wheelhouse Creative was the producer on a documentary called Beyond the Gaze. Julie Campbell, a story. It's a story about Julie Campbell because if you remember in that 25th anniversary, there's this older woman that's the editor, and I always remember thinking that was so interesting.
Like the spyglass.
I remember thinking all the photographers and men. I remember thinking this is an 8-year-old, 9-year-old. All the photographers and men that were in this were so creepy, and she was like the guide keeping everything tasteful, and she had relationships with each of the women. Well, Rob produced, and I believe it was directed by her daughter or a family member, a documentary about Julie Campbell and about the evolution of the swimsuit issue, and it's on Amazon right now. And I missed Harry so much, and I was talking to Rob about it, and it was on demand, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch it, and it was a really good and really interesting and really different, because this was really a women-driven, product, as opposed to like the other stuff that would come out later in the 2000s that I feel like couldn't have been driven by women in my mind. Like, I can't imagine Maxim magazine was made by women. I mean, maybe someone will tell me they were, but and it was really nice to watch, and it's cool. And if you remember that era, it has everybody in it. I mean, everybody's interviewed in it. Christy Brinkley, Cheryl Tiegs, Kathy Ireland. So in a weird way, it's like this. It's like an answer to the original video that we watched as kids, and it has some footage from it. So I wanted to give a shout out to that. With that, I feel like we covered almost everything. Does anyone have anything else?
No, it was pretty good.
All right. I'll just say the upcoming movies I desperately want to see in the theater are Running Man and Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Those are going to be big ones.
All right.
I can see if any of them are playing here in English.
Tuesday, English language night. You should check that out.
I will check.
They are English language night.
Love you guys.
You'll be the only one to laugh in the
Bye.
Right. Becky's always the only one that laughs in the Spanish theaters.
Cackle.
Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Friday Night Movie, the sibling rivalry and pop culture podcast. Join the Friday Night Movie family by following @FryNightMovie on all of the socials and visiting our website, FryNightMovie.com. Our theme song is by What Does It Eat? And make sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.